Hello, I am here today to talk about the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. I will be reading the poem from Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. This poem is quite long, so I will not be looking straight into the camera today. And leave in the description in the comments below what you think I could improve about my stuff on history. Coming from this U.S. history, early years to 1877. Leave in the description below how I can make it better and make it more interesting for you. I started this with the first, so I shall start. As I said, I will not always be looking into the camera, so I'm looking down a lot. Leave in the description for me to put the book up or something. Okay, here I go. Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. On the 18th of April in 75, hardly a man is still alive. Who remembers the famous day here? He said to his friends, if the British march by land or sea from the town tonight, hanging lanterns aloft in the birch-tree arch of the northern church tower, and a single light, as a signal light. One is by land, two is by sea, and I am on the opposing shore. Will be ready and ride to spread the alarm through every Middlesex village and farm, from the country folk and up to Ark. Meanwhile, he spreads through alleys and streets, wanderers and witches with eager ears, till the silence around him hear the muster of men at the breaking doors, and the muster of trades on the guardians marching down to their boots and on to the shore. Meanwhile, impatient to mount and ride, boasted and sputtered with a heavy stride. On the opposing shore walked Paul Revere. Now he patted his horse's side. Now glazed at the landscape far and near, they imposed the stamps onto the earth. He turned and twitted the saddle glip, but most he watched with eager stretch. Before the belfry tower, the old North Church, as it rose gravely over the hill, a lonely spectrum, a single chill, still. And lo, he looked in a bewildered height, a glimmer, and then a glimmer, and then a glimmer of light, and then a gleam of light. He sprang to his saddle, ride his turn. A second lamp in the brightly burned. A hurry of hoofs in the village street. A shape of the moonlight, a glint in the dark. A beneath from the pebbles, passing in spark, struck out from the steed, flying and fearless and fleet. The feet of the nation was riding at night, and sparks struck out of his saddle, and fight did kindly in the land, into flames in the heat. So through the night he rode, Paul Revere, and so through the night went a cry of alarm through every Middlesex village and farm, and cried a different and not of fear. The voices in the darkness that knock at the door, and the words that shall echo it for even more. From bone of the night, wind of the past, through all of our history, to the last in the hour of darkness, the pearl and need, the people will awaken and listen to hear the hurrying hoofsteps of the steed and the midnight passage of Paul Revere. Now let's talk what Paul Revere said, really did, and why didn't Paul Revere write this, what happened up himself. 1, Paul Revere didn't say, the British are coming, the British are coming. So all those movies you read are wrong. 2, what he really said, well, the redcoats are coming. Because the colonists still sort of considered themselves British. So he said the redcoats are coming, or the lobsterbacks are coming. And then also, he said he got caught on his final ride riding to Concord, because there was the Battle of Lexington and Concord, where he said he was supposed to be going to Lexington to tell them, because what the British were supposed to be doing is going to Concord and burning all their weaponry. But they went to Concord instead first. They went to Lexington instead of Concord first, which took a severe loss on them. So by the time they got back, it was a full day's ride back, after they went to Concord, and they were only had about 3 dozen men left. 2, Paul Revere got caught on the way to Concord, so that was the end of him. 3, as I said, like, subscribe, leave in the description how I could have made that better, and don't forget, all this history is coming out of American history, the early years to 1877. I hope you liked it, because this is the 3rd video of the night, folks, and I may be making another. Stay tuned. Bye. See you all later.